Recording starts.
Great. So, Haley will make her way to the med bay. I would assume Cleo sort of has given her some directions, so she knows how to get there. You don't need to force her to get lost in the fucking outpost. And you'll find that Lynn is in a plastic room, and Tyrion is being checked at by a few nurses. And there is somebody who's basically running the show in here.
Well, I guess I'll approach her then. It's this person, right?
That's correct.
Yep.
Hello.
May I help you?
I'm here to see Lynn Walsh.
And your business with her? She is quarantined at the moment.
She requested me directly. She sounds fine.
No, actually, there isn't any snoring. Ignore Jess.
And she requested you to do what exactly?
Try and help her.
Okay, out of character. I would assume M would be able to tell she's part of that Haley is part of the ecclesiarchy, right?
Not at the moment. She got all her clothes blowed up. So at the moment, she's wearing hand-me-downs from the Arbites. Not the Arbites, sorry, the Enforcers.
So has like lots of reason to be skeptical and to question Haley?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what do you think that you can do that I haven't already tried to do for her?
Faith healing?
You don't look like any member of the ecclesiarchy I've ever seen.
I had a little unfortunate accident back in the Lister High. What you see here is not my normal attire.
And are you sure you want to go in there? She's running a very, very high fever. And I would hate for you to catch whatever she has.
If you insist, I do have a void suit I could put on.
It would make me feel more comfortable if you would go in with that.
Alright, I will be back in a moment. Where was the void suits being held again?
Probably they were left in the truck, considering everybody was in such a rush to get in.
Hang in there, Lynn. I'll be right back.
Hey, she's just doing her job.
Yep, that was appropriate. So as that's taking place, the conversation between Shelby and Vern could be completed. We don't presently have a bow bob, though, so since the prayers are done, I guess they'd all have been trying to help Mathras. So if Shelby and Vern come back into the room, they'll be getting Mathras up to his feet.
What happened?
What?
Vern will ask what happened since if he sees that they're pulling him up to his leg, up to his feet.
He's starting to come to grasp that what he saw in the warp is not what's happening in real life yet. He's a diviner. He sees the future. And when the bell started, she pulls away, pulls Vern to the side. Where the hell were you anyway?
Having a conversation.
Well, conversation. She's asking you.
Yes, a conversation.
She'll give Shelby a quick glare, then look at Vern. She didn't threaten you again, did she?
Not at this time. And Vern will laugh a bit. Well, not laugh. Give a chuckle.
And that'll just prompt Talia to give him a very confused look.
No, she didn't threaten anyone. She just had a couple of things on her mind, and since you were concentrated in your prayer, she thought I was the next, next in line to tell or ask.
Okay, so it's not entirely a lie, but give me a deceive roll anyway.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. I'm not going to fight that.
Not fading? Okay. And Talia scrutiny. Well, okay, she's leaving everything well enough alone.
Mm-hmm.
She'll then explain Mathris as a psyker capable of seeing into the future did not have a very pleasant reaction to what Shelby was able to handle. And I don't know if bringing him into that tower is going to be a good idea, even though he could potentially warn us to several impending threats before they happen. He's also a potential liability. He is strong with his connection to the Emperor, and I know he'd sooner die than allow anything to take root in him. But for his safety and our safety, it may be best just to leave him on the base.
So, I'm not very knowledgeable, and I don't pretend to be very knowledgeable with these psychic things, but was he trying to peer in the future when it happened, or it just happened?
I think it just happened. What sounded like a bell to all of us had a much worse experience for him, especially because of his deep connection with the war. Shelby also had, I expect, something similar, but she is strong of will, and I believe she can just resist it.
Well, I do believe you are right on this one. We probably should leave him here, since we really can't afford any delays in that tower or any unforeseen happenings.
The question becomes, do we try to leave him here in the outpost or send him home?
Well, he came here with us, and I don't think we could send him back even if we tried, but maybe we can make him stay here. I would like to send him back out of this, since what I understood, this place is something bothers the psychers here.
No, it's not just here at the outpost. It's everywhere, emanating from that tower. And it's getting bigger, she'll look to Shelby. Is it still getting bigger? She'll motion with her hands. Yes, indeed. It is definitely growing in power. In fact, that roll, Shelby, also give me a logic roll. You are trained in logic, so you got a pretty good chance here. Very nice. Okay. So, Shelby, I don't know if you want to articulate it, but you can estimate that probably in the span of 2 to 3 days, it'll probably be more than you want to bear. For now, it's tolerable, but 2 to 3 days with its current rate, you don't even want to think about what that means. Talia will recite basically the same to Vern, saying, it'd be best if we handle this today or tomorrow at the latest.
Any word when the armors will be here?
She'll look. I guess we could ask Krios. Do you have a microbead? Microbead.
Mm-hmm.
But she has one of her own, so. Or does she? I can't remember. At this point, after this session, I'm going to say everybody's going to have a microbead again, thanks to the armory.
Okay.
But for now, somebody can contact Krios and ask the lovable tech priest.
Well, Vern will do that. Krios, are you there?
Yes. I am always there.
Oh, okay. Good. We're just trying to figure out here how long will it take to those armors arrive here.
The best estimate we have is before sundown tomorrow.
That will be cutting it kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we haven't done this yet, Krios, but give me a D100 roll. Do you want to fake this?
Fuck it. Why not?
I can tell you why not if you really want me to.
Well, I'll leave things to mysterious chance.
Much better. Okay. So, yeah, basically at the moment is there anything else you guys wanted to do?
Not I.
What was that, Fungi?
Not I.
I can't think of anything for now.
Well, Tyrion does want to see Grace still one last time, if it's at all possible.
All right. Would Tyrion potentially ask someone to have Grace come see her?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to bribe, charm, deceive? How do you want to try that?
Charm.
Okay.
Oops, I'm not impersonating Larry Tobin anymore. Now I am.
Okay.
That's not particularly charming, but I don't know how charming you can be with tubes sticking out of you.
That will actually be a base success. And yeah, Trios does prove the point that tubes and faces doesn't necessarily mean uncharming.
I think at this point I am more tube and metal than I am face.
Well, I thought you said his face was something he left largely untouched.
Oh yeah, but the rest of him. I mean, he's never been mostly face, but you know, it sounded cool, so I said it.
Okay. So someone will agree, and after a short while, you will see a familiar face coming into the med bay.
She will say, to the field commander, it's good to see you again.
Well, let's see here. No, it's not going to be willpower. It will be a fellowship. Give me a quick scrutiny.
Oops. That was strange.
So, yeah, she's just going to kind of grimace slightly and say, how may I help you?
I wanted to see how you were doing. How you are handling the impending assault?
Well, speaking with your tech priest friend Krios has actually been very enlightening, and for the first time in ages, I feel hopeful.
Well, that's good. She will then hush her voice and say, you know about anything that is in the tower that we should know about? Beyond the scope of your scouting? You should tell me. And she's going to try to do it charmingly.
Okay.
Boom!
Okay. And let's just double check what her willpower stat is. Higher. She pauses for a while and says, "No, ma'am, I don't believe there is."
Can I roll scrutiny again?
Absolutely.
God darn it, I can't read her. Save my life right now.
Well, I think at the moment you do have the, plus 10 to perception. So, yeah, you get the impression she's holding back, but not necessarily from you so much as from the environment.
What's in my general surroundings?
You're in the med bay, and there's nurses and other people wandering about doing their various duties and getting treatment.
Shoot, okay. I was hoping it was a small number of people I could just tell to GTFO, but that's not exactly the case. So I guess that's all I can do with her while I'm here.
So she'll ask, is there anything further, ma'am?
Not at the moment. Somebody sounds
Very
like
good.
they're expecting something.
I've been ordered by Krios to make ready the troops, and I have to give them some battle training and advice on how to handle toxic environments.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. I wish there were someone who had more experience with such things, but I shall do my best.
And that's all we can ask from you.
Am I dismissed?
Yes, you are.
Okay. She'll salute and wander off. And Jess makes an excellent point. No one's played that goddamn speech yet. Okay. So Haley, at this point, I think you'll be able to suit up. Vern, are you going to accompany her to visit Lynn?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll just move your tokens over there for you. Vern, I can't remember. You weren't even going to get a suit, were you? Or did you decide to get a suit?
Well, I wasn't there to do that since I was kind of sick that night.
Right. Okay. So what you have to do is give me a D100 roll, and your DC is going to be 60. Okay, yeah. Vern, you will have been able to locate a suit that will fit you in your ungodly sized head. And
Hey,
so
it's not that ungodly. It's just big.
Awful head. Are you going to suit up before you go in to see Lynn, or are you just going to go directly?
Well, technically I wouldn't know about the situation, so I would just go to see her and probably see that she's in quarantine.
So yeah, basically as you're arriving to the med bay, you'll see Haley in her full environmental suit getup entering the room just before you.
Mm-hmm. What's happening in there? Vern will ask Haley.
Lynn's very sick. It seems that during her mission, her armor was penetrated. I'm going to see what I could do to help.
Yeah. I think you are more capable in this than the medics are, taking in consideration what we are up against. I do hope she's fine. She will be fine.
I'll do my best.
Also, Vern will ask, is it safe to enter the med bay?
You probably want to put your suit on to talk with Lynn directly, but she's being kept in quarantine, so it's relatively safe.
Is she conscious?
No.
Okay, then I think I will just wait and see for now.
Alright, I'll enter. Is this more to your liking?
She will say, yes, you can go ahead. I was only doing that for your safety.
Alright. And I'll enter the little plastic tent thing. Should we wait for her just to get back at this point?
Yeah, she's only going to be a minute or two, so. Krios, what have you been up to since telling Haley what you told you last?
Probably seeking out Vern.
Okay, well, after Vern's turned and walked away from the med bay, I'll have to do that in a minute. It looks like just got back. Okay, so Lynn, we apparently have your spiritual
Guide?
laxative. Spiritual laxative has arrived.
Thanks. Doesn't say NyQuil or something.
So what are you up to, Haley?
Alright, well, I'll approach her first. And, I'm guessing she's still out of it.
Indeed, at the moment, you're going to try to wake her.
Yeah.
Okay. just so you're aware, Lynn's current fever has basically decimated her intelligence score. But I will allow you to be awake if you want to give some gibbering conversation to Haley, or if you'd rather just sleep through it, that's an option too. So apparently Lynn is not being roused by your attempts to wake her.
Okay then. Not quite sure what to do here, but I got a bunch of regions off what's his face, right?
That's correct. You have, I believe, 14 kilos worth.
Oh, time to start setting some of that stuff up.
Okay, give me an intelligence roll.
Oh, right, it's all inside my suit, isn't it?
No, that's not going to be an issue. Also, you can have it in a backpack. No problem there. More to the fact of, well, I have to wait to see what you roll. Okay, you are in a medical facility. Many of your reagents require lighting of incense or candles. There's a lot of pure oxygen in this area. You're smart enough and educated enough to know that there's potential issues with, lighting a match in an area that has a lot of oxygen.
Okay, I will pull out the few things that don't require fire.
Okay.
Just basically set them up around her bedside.
Then going to be doing rituals or, well, what's that, Imperial Creed?
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, time to either heal or fail unbelievably hard.
You still got fate points.
Damn!
Okay. So, you aren't psyker or anything, and you don't really have any Medicaid training. But logically speaking, you know that A, you're going up against the god of disease, and B, Lynn here is suffering a fever that just apparently hit her like a ton of bricks in the span of 6 hours, maybe less. It's probably been a little bit longer than that, but she was already contacting you about being sick, over the radio channels from Krios earlier. So it's obvious that whatever this is, it's extreme. So even if it's not spiritual or psychic in nature, it always helps to have the Emperor watching your back when getting over a really nasty cold. And you feel very confident that the ritual you performed here for Lynn is much to the Emperor's liking.
Yay!
But only time will say whether or not Lynn gets a full recovery. Jess, if you'd like to have some words from Lynn that aren't quite groggy and gibberishy, did you want to say anything? I didn't say normal. I'm just saying it's not utter gibberish. Joe?
Sorry, I thought there was going to be a little more there. Yeah, so basically she'll just kind of moan, say Haley's name, and then pass out again. Emperor be with you, Lynn. And with that, I'll head over to the side, just like through the plastic tarp, whatever. Look at May there. So, do you need to scrub the suit down, or can I just leave?
Well, since you asked, it would probably be a good idea to scrub it before you infect somebody else. And she will hand you something, or she will start scrubbing.
Well, I imagine she's a little too high up to do that personally. She's more likely order someone to do it.
She will go to one of the nurses or the lower doctors and be like, "Take care of this," and hand them the chemicals and point.
Alrighty. So, I guess we can now go to Krios and Vern, unless there's something else. Doesn't look it? Okay, Krios and Vern.
Yes. Vern, it's been a while since we've talked.
Uh-huh.
How's if I'm about to go into a throne-forsaken tower, I'd like to know the mental condition of all of my squad mates. I don't want to ask how you were holding up, because you appear to be invulnerable. But yes.
So, you're asking me how are the others doing?
No, I am flat out asking how are you doing.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you. I am fine at the moment. There's been a lot of things happening in fast success in a few, well, for the past day. But I've survived so far, so why would this be any different?
Well, speak to me. What's going through that helmeted head of yours? We have indeed seen some shit.
Well, I'd rather not delve into it. It's a bit of a problematic situation, and
Right, well, no, I won't press the point. Though, if anything comes to mind about what we're about to go and do, or have any thoughts about it, please find me.
I will.
I guess that's it for that conversation. Now isn't the best time to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that done.
Okay. So let us see. Was there anything else any of you wanted to do in particular? I imagine Bob would have Alexandra using her superior combat training to assist Grace in prepping the soldiers. How about the rest of you?
Would it be feasible? How difficult would it be to sneak out of the hospital at night?
You won't need to sneak out. They'll recommend you stay overnight, but it's not strictly necessary.
Well, then I'm going, as it gets later at night, I would like to find Grace in a more private situation.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything before, what do they call curfew, I guess? No, what would they call it in the military?
Lights out.
Lights out? Yeah, I guess.
Well, one would think of trying to steal the people for what might be coming for, but then he remembers what happened last time when he tried to do that and decides against it.
steal people?
Yeah, steal their minds. Force.
Steal as in reinforce.
Okay, I thought you were saying like just walk right up to somebody, shove them in a bag.
Somebody's mind.
No, I thought you meant literally like. I thought you literally meant walk up to somebody, shove them in a bag, and just get a big pile of people, and then release them when it's time to start the battle.
That would be funny, but no. No. What happened in the tower when Vern tried to tell the enforcer what to expect in the lower levels.
Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah, Vern thought about. Vern thought about that and decided against it. That maybe it's not his job to try to reinforce these people's minds against what's coming up. Let the professionals do that. I'm just a cop.
Indeed. Alrighty. So, does anybody else want to talk to the commissar, the Mentorium adjunct, the lieutenant commander, or the field commander without it being private sneaky stuff?
I would actually like to talk to Kiri.
Alright, well, she would know she was in the med bay getting treated earlier, so...
I will head back there.
You will find her, being tended to.
Tyrion, right, that's the name she goes by now. How wounded is she? Like, what's the extent of the wounds?
Okay, she was hit by a grenade, shot, attacked by psychic powers. What else happened to her?
Other than, mental trauma that he wouldn't know about, that's probably about it that I can remember.
Okay.
I had someone explode on me at one point, I think.
Yeah, I think they cleaned up most of the viscera, though.
So it's mostly shrapnel wounds and burns.
And, well, not that you'd have the ability to detect warp energies, but there would be still those lingering taints.
Right. So he will, assuming she's not neck deep in nurses, walk up to her and just go, how's the... He'll gesture to his entire body, showing where she has wounds. Just how's the wounds?
Well, they're healing.
That's always a plus. Do you think you will be fit for this mission in the next less than 24 hours?
That's the plan. That's why I'm staying here. Why I'm here.
Well, good to hear. Are there any nurses still around?
There would be some within earshot, if that's what you're asking.
That'll be fine. Krios will just lower his voice. We're about to go and do an incredibly risky thing. Now, I am fully aware that your... What's the word I'm looking for? Off-the-cuff decisions are partly what makes you useful, but as a random knife in the wrong back could potentially end us all, I would like you to promise me that in the next engagement you will stick to plan as closely as possible.
She'll give you this look like, I don't make promises I don't intend to keep, but I guess, and then say I promise.
Krios gives her a look back that seems to say, people that break promises meet Henry. I will hold you to that, and I would appreciate it if you did too. You have my thanks. And he will leave.
Yay, the neighborhood-friendly tech priest.
He will murder everyone when they sleep.
hopefully in the same shot. Is there anyone I haven't talked to out of the group apart from Bobo? Yeah, fucking Shelby. Jesus Christ.
Okay, if you want to.
And I don't think you have talked to Haley.
Yes, I have.
Very briefly, while you and Jess were doing your exchange.
Okay, that would explain why I didn't notice it.
Yes,
All right. At the moment, I would imagine Talia would have been spending this time basically just trying to gently ease Shelby into looking at things from a warp perspective. So how agreeable would Shelby be in doing that? Okay. So, foremost, Talia does have experience with psychers, so she would ask Shelby to first focus on, the strength of the Emperor, obviously. So give me an invocation roll. Okay, got a good degree of success. Next, she would ask her to get a sort of ambient reading from the immediate area. Okay, Joe, I think you've got a fan blowing near your microphone.
Seriously, I moved it all the way back so you wouldn't hear that crap. Sorry.
I guess you just got a strong microphone. You always just mute your microphone when you're not talking if you need the fan right next to you.
No, actually, it's across the room at this point.
Well, put it right next to you, and that way you just mute your microphone when you're not talking.
I just turned it off.
God damn it. I don't want you overheating. You need cool
fine.
air. I'll smack you. Anyway, Shelby, you really suck at Omniscience. My God, are you going to fake that? Okay, so we're gonna chalk that up to basically Talia coaching Shelby to focus. Use your training. Let the Emperor guide you. What is the Emperor telling you to look at? And after some, motivational speaking from Talia, Shelby will be able to get a clear image of the outpost in general. Then, other than Mathras, you don't detect any potential psychers in the area. They could be shielded, they could be, protecting their psychic energy from you detecting them, but you're feeling fairly confident right now that the only actual psychers, revealed or not, are you and Mathras. You'd have to personally go up and, get within 50 meters of each person with nothing in between you and that person to, say 100% whether they have any latent psychic abilities or not. But overall, the psychic signature of the outpost is very low, where it should be. The mass of negative warp energy, however, is still very, very clear, emanating out from that tower. And yeah, it's definitely emanating from the peak of the tower, especially so. Like there's a focal point up there. Okay. And Talia will ask you, is it a deception or is it exactly what we think it is up there? So give me another Omniscience roll, basically a warp scrutiny. Oh, God damn it. What the fuck? Oh, wow. No, that's a critical fail. Right now, Shelby is thinking that for some reason, corn comes to mind, which only makes her think even more so that this must be some kind of Zinchian ploy. After all, Havoc just told her that it was Zinch who was what their intel indicated was going on the planet. And so Talia will ask the trap, what do you mean? Joe, you're not muted currently.
Ah.
Talia will focus on Shelby and say, come on, just explain. Talia will nod her head to Shelby. Say, I suppose that is always a risk in any endeavor. How do we test that, though? Any suggestions? All right. Sorry for the distraction there. Back in character. Okay, back in character. Talia will say, well, I guess actually this is a time for Talia to do a forbidden knowledge roll. Okay. Talia will say, well, I don't like the thought of disparaging, and I also don't like the thought of false hope for obvious reasons. So I guess the only way to really stick it to both of them is to be hopeful and then make sure that what we believe is going to happen does happen in the name of the Emperor and mankind. We cannot fail, not even for an instant, and it will be our strength and our resolve that will keep both of them away. At least that's Talia's theory on the matter. Sorry, were you typing something else, Jess? Okay. Natalia will say, you have the greatest of confidence in yourself. Don't forget who we're going in there with, though. Indeed. All right. Well, back on track. I don't want to lean on Mathras powers any more than we already have. I suppose the only question left is, you mentioned demons to me earlier. Are you sure that's what you sensed? Could it possibly be a deception, a ploy by some sorcerer or something? Well, demons or sorcerers, I guess it doesn't matter. Holy weapons will harm them both. So we should try and see about using up those holy reagents of Haley, and hopefully Ariane will be joining us shortly, and we can utilize her holy strength as well. Naturally, you are the hammer that strikes at demons, so as long as we aren't facing against foes that are really making you think there are demons, we at least have that great advantage. Never underestimate the strength of humanity, either for their convictions or their sins. And let's just hope it's not, well, never mind. I shouldn't even dare utter such a thought. But, well, it's not like things get much worse looking from what they are right now, but as you said, we will prevail. Now, we should look into making sure that everyone has the means to communicate with one another and on a secure, encrypted channel. So you and I, well, you don't need to come with me, but I'm sure you want to. I'm going to go make sure that we get microbeads for everyone. Of course. Okay. So that basically puts us, well, Krios, did you still want to talk with Shelby?
If it's all right, I might do it next time. I'm struggling to stay coherent at the moment.
You don't think you get...
Well, how much longer were you planning to... How much more were you wanting to plan this? Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
I was going to say, basically, once you and Shelby had their talk, I think a lot of people are done for tonight. So we rest there, and a Bob could let us know if he agrees for next Friday with what I had planned for Alexandra, and we'd set off next session with the fresh morning.
Sure thing. I can stick around for that.
Okay. So Shelby and Talia would be heading to the quartermaster, and they bump into Krios in the hallway. Who knew?
Just the pair I was looking for. How are you two doing?
Talia will give a slight smirk and say, well, considering what we're up against, I feel good that we'll prevail. Emperor protects.
Well, that's certainly heartening to hear. And you, Shelby? That's good to hear as well. I'm having a talk with everyone that will be going to the tower to make sure there's no last minute questions or additions to the plan. Anything you two think?
Well, the plan, I know the broad strokes, but have we actually got a tactical plan?
I'll be hoping to outline that with the acting field commander as soon as possible, as soon as the orders come in with the armor.
And that was supposed to be happening by sundown tomorrow at the latest?
Exactly.
Hopefully that'll be a lot sooner.
I'm with you there, so I think we could all benefit with a night's sleep.
Well,
I'm hardly saying that comes first, of course.
We still got an entire afternoon and evening to deal with today, but I guess that can all just be preparations for tomorrow.
Indeed. We need to take as much preparation as possible, and being well rested is an integral part of being prepared.
Yes, I might have to see about getting something to help me go to sleep. I'm not sure about my nerves, but, well, perhaps we should all invest in something to help us sleep tonight.
Maybe talk to Haley. I know she's good at putting people's mind at ease, usually.
Very good point, yes. Why medicate when words alone should suffice?
Exactly. If she would notice thing, Krios is glad that she said words and not anything mystical. Yes, if either of you have anything you'd like to add or talk to me, add to plans or talk to me before we go, I am open to any ideas and conversations anyone wants to have.
Well, I would like to say that all of us be present for when the orders from the generals come in, because that is something I don't think any of us should miss.
Right, okay. I was going to leave some people out, but if you think that's a wise idea, I'll follow your recommendation.
That you would leave out?
I shan't name names at this point, but mainly people whose... I'm aware of the irony of the situation, don't worry, but people whose areas of expertise do not involve large military actions.
Far be it from me to question your superior logic, but I think all of us have a part to play in what could happen in that tower. And leaving anybody out when we're deciding what to do could be a fatal mistake.
Indeed, I think on rethinking it, I believe you are right. This is why I am trying to talk to everyone. Seems no one else is trying to get the group to act as a group.
Well, I suppose I could go give Vern a swift kick in the backside, but I know he has a lot on his mind at the moment.
Oh, is he the acting commander?
He was supposed to be in charge of the investigations, and Lynn in charge of military action. Lynn being incapacitated kind of makes that difficult, so I would assume it would fall to Vern or Haley. But Haley, I mean no offense to her, but she doesn't seem the type to want to lead.
Well, I am attempting to at least pick up the slack.
Well, things have improved dramatically since your arrival, so don't you dare be the harbinger of doom, because I will hit you so hard and Shelby will finish the job. She says jokingly. She doesn't know if Shelby will pick up on that.
I can assure you, sabotaging my own mission is the last thing on my mind.
Yes. I can think of at least 2 other things that will be on our minds after this mission.
Indeed, I would greatly like to talk to every single person about that, but well,
this mission, yes. Let's save that Vidar fellow. Watch the tower collapse in on itself with a mighty barrage of the Emperor's finest artillery shells, and then we can have that talk.
Indeed, I'm hoping the tanks we have secured are enough to do the job. I'm not so sure, but at least if we can damage it, maybe that will encourage the army to come and finish the job.
Indeed. And she'll look to Shelby and say, the decision about Makaisen and Havictus, there is still a great deal with... Sorry about the phone, everybody. There's still a great deal that we as a group do not necessarily agree upon in that regard, so it's something that we'll have to wait to discuss once the more pressing issues are dealt with, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't constantly on my mind. It's kind of funny in a way. The thought that we're going up against the hordes that belong to one of the 4 ruinous powers gives me less apprehension than the thought of seeing an inquisitor do battle with a liar and a scoundrel.
That simple case of one is the enemy you know, the other one is more complicated. You know, people much rather take on a threat which is easy to identify as a threat than it is to deal with 2 things that are much more messy.
Her face will lighten and she'll nod to Krios' wise words.
Yeah, sometimes I can be accidentally wise. I do apologize.
Oh, smooth operator. What? Well then, we were going to go make sure that there were microbeads enough for the entire squad. I'm wondering, are we planning to assail the tower ourselves? Are we going to be bringing any teams in with us? Are we asking for stormtroopers to come with us? I don't really know. What did you ask for exactly in your request?
I asked for as much air support as was possible to get. I believe we are getting a single Valkyrie, which, if memory serves, can hold 10 or 12 personnel.
Oh my, that could potentially damper things substantially.
Could what, sorry?
I said that could potentially damper things substantially.
Yes, I was hoping for much more air support, but there we go. The Emperor works in strange ways.
But we are getting tanks, though, right?
Oh yes, we have, with the addition of mine, which I acquired, we have 15 units of armor.
Mm-hmm. So the lack of air support is a little daunting, but...
Indeed. The officer I talked to with the Imperial Navy seemed incredibly perturbed at being bothered.
What was the rank and the name?
What was the rank in
it would be Grand Marshal. I can't remember exactly. It's like Axius or something like that.
It was just a certain Grand Marshal Axius, I believe.
She'll nod and give a smile as she makes a mental note of the name.
Seems like someone you're familiar with.
Not yet, but the Inquisition has a great deal of power, and those who do not bow to that power tend to find their lives becoming a little difficult if they get the chance to live.
Well, I'm not an Inquisitor yet, so I can't enact on their actions just now. He's saying that with the obvious humour.
The humor will go over her head at first, and she'll have a shocked look on her face until she realizes what Krios is saying. There was a thought. Inquisitor Tech Priest. That's a new one.
Well, stranger things have happened.
Me too.
Namely, greenskins. Anything they do that works, it just... Anyway,
I don't know much about them.
Well, ignorance is bliss on that front, I believe. The less you know about them, the less danger you will be in. Relatively speaking. Yes, the offer goes to you, Shelby, as well. If there's any information you would like to add or get before the mission, or any way I can help you prepare, that is why. Well, that's not why I'm here, but that is the service I am trying to offer to the group.
Excellent. And I'll make sure. Oh, have you spoken to everyone else then?
I've spoken to all the main players. Their minions I am leaving to them.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I haven't spoken to the Bob.
Well, he's not here.
Yeah, but this is Talia asking.
Yeah. No, I have yet to talk to Alexander. It's Alexandra.
Alexandra, we just left her. She's tending to her subordinates and attempting to keep Mathras in good condition. They're in the hall, in the room just down the hall and to the right.
Thank you. I will go and I'll go and see how that's going. And thank you, Shelby.
Shelby, I'll make sure that you have a microbeat as well. So if Krios needs to call you, he can call you directly.
Hotline Krios.
No, right. She does already have her own microbead. Well, we'll make sure that all the microbeads are on the same encrypted channel. So there. Alrighty. So was there anything else anyone else wanted to do before we call it a night?
Are we just doing my conversation with Grace in private?
Yeah, it's probably for the best. After all, Tyrion is being sneaky like usual.
Damn
It's
it,
what
what
she
did I
does.
just say?
I'm not putting a knife in her. I'm leaving her alive, I promise. She had already cooked up this plan before you told her she shouldn't. Therefore, she still will.
Well, I was hoping that this order was retroactive. Okay, I say order, suggestion. Don't stab anyone. I won't, apart from that guy I've been planning to kill for a couple of hours now. That totally doesn't count.
Grace is a woman, Fungi. I know she's scarred on the face and all, but...
Yeah, I am tired and have a temperature. I make no excuses.
You did.
I don't know if you noticed what I said, but Vern would probably try to find anything that could help in the tower, including explosives and other heavy weaponry. But we can do that later on in the week.
Well, I can tell you right now that Lynn already did some of that investigation for when she did her little solo op. And as I recall, the best she could find was plenty of vehicle fuel and some landmines, but nothing that's ready to be turned into, like, demolition charges. If you want demolition charges, you'd have to modify the landmines, basically.
Are they infantry landmines or are they vehicle landmines?
It would actually be an assortment of both, but predominantly infantry.
Well, I could take a couple of those. You never know when they're useful.
Just Vern walking around, got a mass of landmines, like a cape, just tied together with little metal twist ties, just carrying it over his shoulder.
Has anyone seen Edge of Tomorrow?
Yes.
So the guy just puts a claymore on his chest.
Yep, that's how it starts. Claymore on the chest, and all of a sudden, you're traveling through time every day.
Remember, kids, putting explosives on your body is a gateway drug.
But, I mean, you never know when you meet a angry Chaos Marine and you need to blow his legs up by throwing a mine underneath it.
Or maybe he'll just kick the landmine right back at you.
I think a Space Marine is the kind of guy that could step on a landmine and break the mine.
Yeah, but that's why I'm bringing also the vehicle ones.
Or I think a Space Marine is actually heavy enough to activate one of those, so that's a good idea. Though they do usually weigh quite a lot of, weight.
They would be melt-a-mines, wouldn't they?
It depends, man. I mean, not all weaponry in the Imperial Guard is Codex weaponry.
Okay, but anti-vehicle weapons in a 40k universe.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had conventional weapons as well, because they're so low-tech. The idea is they're going to have nothing more high-tech than that. So you could get melter mines, you could also get standard modern-day anti-tank mines, I think.
Well, what are the modern-day anti-tank mines then?
Basically not as high-tech as a melter, but basically melter. It's like a shaped charge.
And what comes to the weight, I think Vern can carry it.
I swear to God, if you try and pick up a battle cannon, I'm going to shoot your arms off.
Yes, I've already retconned that the official stats for the battle cannon are not realistic. 350 kilograms is like a tenth of what it probably should even begin to start weighing.
But, yeah. Well.
Okay, so thank you all for playing. We are still on for Friday. That's the 20th. Hoping not one of you guys are going to screw us out of another name, so we just shake it.
I should too be around on Friday.
Unless nothing special happens, I should be here.
Don't let anything special happen then, bastard. We don't know yet if Scout's going to be able to make it, but hopefully yes. And that way we'll have Ariane support, and we'll actually have Ariane present for the Vidar saga. But it is, like I said, still up in the air. So we'll try and keep everyone apprised. No, I worry about Shelby even more now. She's obviously lost all sight of reality, and I'm thinking, Vern at 94 insanity, or did you went up to 95, didn't you? 98.
I thought I was 99, but okay, 98.
98 insanity for Vern, yeah. Well, Shelby, I think you might be getting up there too with, just the way you treat the poor bastard.
It's not my fault that everyone else is insane.
Well, okay, I guess it's fair considering she rolled 99, stated it, rolled 99, and I rolled a 9. I guess it makes sense then for the messages she was sending Vern.
That's totally Vern's fault.
Yeah, I guess we can. No, not Vern. Veda. Veda's fault. Isn't that right?
Veda. They all end up the same color.
Well, Vern might end up a different color than Veda.
I might.
I'll be there as an A. I'm going to go and pass out now.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Thanks again. And Brooke, I'm just going to give you a quick call just as soon as everybody else is. Good night.